What's up guys, it's Mike with Shallow Reefing coming back at you with another video, and today I am going to be upgrading my water storage system. So I have two 32-gallon brute trash containers here, and I want to set up auto water changes, and they're both 32 ounce or 32 gallons. Now with that, 32 gallons on a 200-gallon tank when I eventually want to upgrade is not going to last very long. So what I want to do is make the 44-gallon down here and move the 32 up to the top, and I'll have two freshwater storage containers and a 44-gallon, which is going to be huge. Now, I want to do this on a budget. So I'm going to show you how to make a cheap water storage container with some little bit of extra parts that you may or may not want or need, and I'll break down the cost for each part. All right, so the brute trash can for 44 gallons, I paid $44, $1 a gallon. It's kind of like that Petco $1 a gallon sale. Now over here, what I got from Bulk Resupply, a float switch. I would not set up a water storage container without a float switch. And to make sure that you need to have the one that doesn't have the pivot here, where you could change the water level. You want the solid one, because if you have a hinge here and it kind of loosens up, it can kind of flood everything. So always go with the straight accessory here. And that was 15 bucks. And Uniseal, a 1-inch Uniseal for, you guessed it, $3. Super cheap. Now, the more expensive components on here would be all the PVC piping. So I have a 1-inch PVC, well, 1-inch diameter, 2-foot long PVC pipe, and that ran me only like $2.34, so nothing. And I had this 3/4 inch PVC pipe laying around. Now, because I wanted to go from a 1-inch to a 3/4 inch so I could get to thinner tubing over here, because I tried the thicker tubing and it just didn't move as well, so I'm using thinner diameter tubing because it's just way more easy to manage. And I had the adapter where it goes from 1-inch to a 3/4 inch elbow, and that again was like $2. Yep. And then this little adapter here, where I go from 3/4 inch to a threaded barb, that was $1. I got it on sale. And the most expensive part on this would be the tubing, which here, 10 foot of internal diameter or 3/4 of an inch out external diameter or outer diameter of 1 inch for a 10-foot hose was expensive. It was $22. Whew. How in the heck is that the most expensive part minus the storage container? And then I just got one of your cheapo ball valves, because I don't use it all the time, and I'm not going to go spend $22 for one of those nice gate valves. A $5 ball valve for 1 inch is more than enough. So all in all, with all this and the storage container and the Bulk Resupply stuff, I'm in it for $95. That's it. Now I did add a couple bells and whistles, so for under 100 bucks, you can have a 44-gallon storage container. My extra bells and whistles, the whole saw kit, I already had these, not factoring into the price. You can buy your own, they're really cheap. Now this would be the Murloc push connecting to divert the flow, and these little unions here to divert the flow as well. So I'd tee it off, so the main valve here going up to two different containers, and these guys here, the shark bite, where I can turn them off based on where I want to divert the water to. 10 bucks each for those. Yeah, they're expensive. No idea why they are so expensive. They're like 9 bucks something. And then these guys were only, I think it was $5 each. So extra bells and whistles because I want to have two water storage containers. But if you really want to do like the little extra bells and whistles, you can or can't, it doesn't really matter. If you have two different containers, I'd recommend this. But for 100 bucks, you got tons of options for this storage. Now I'm going to put a link below to show you what type of hole saws you need for each different Uniseal size. But for a 1-inch hole saw, you need a 44.4 millimeter or 1 3/4 inch hole saw. And that will make it a nice snug fit where, I don't know if you can see that, lining up almost perfectly, where it's gonna have just a little bit of a tight squeeze. And then when you throw in your 1-inch diameter pipe, it's just gonna make that hole very tight. That's what she said. Okay, someone was gonna say in the comments, I had to say it beforehand. But I'm going to show you the exact placement of where you need to put this hole saw. All right, placement is everything for the holes. Now for this, you don't wanna put holes midway up or even like a quarter of the way up. You wanna put it almost to the bottom. Now I'm gonna do it right above this line because I don't wanna have this line kind of interfere with the Uniseal. So I'll go right above it. That'll give me about 2 to 3 gallons where I can't get out of this container. But it's not gonna matter for me because I'm gonna actually have my Versa pump and have one of the lines to it go all the way to the bottom, and it'll be able to do automatic water changes. But I do still wanna be able to get water out of here just in case. So what I did with the other ones, as you can see, I have it very, very close to the bottom, right above this line. Now for this one, you can kind of see I screwed up on it. If you watched any of my other videos, I forgot to sand around the seal, and I cut 2 seals now because I neglected to sand around it, and you have kind of sharp barbs. And if you wiggle this enough, because mine's a little too low to the ground, I can't get a good, gravity fed flow into my jugs. It kind of wiggles too much, and it kind of has made it a pain in the butt. So with this one, I could raise it up a little bit, but I'm going to not do that just because I really want more of the storage capacity. And both of the storage containers both have the Uniseals up a little bit higher. So it's very important to have a good location for your Uniseal before you drill it. All right, so I got the hole, and I used the drill bit that actually had a drill at the top, and then the hole saw was back here just for a guide hole, and it just cut through it like butter. I didn't even have time to film it because it just went through so easy, and I said, forget it. But as you can see, let's get in a little bit closer. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bar right there. And this is what is going to break your Uniseal if you do not shave it down. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go clean it up with a hand sander. I'll just get some sandpaper and smooth it out. And then I will put the Uniseal in. All right, so once you're done sanding, make sure you take your finger, feel for any burrs or anything. If it cuts you, push down really hard, just to make sure you're not an idiot and missed anything like I did last time. Feels pretty good. Now it's time to slap in the Uniseal. All right, slap in the Uniseal. Fits nice and snug, but we need to put the PVC pipe in. Now I got a 2-footer. I'm not really gonna need all of it, but I like having a lot of length in here extra to kind of counterlever the weight to the front, because I don't really put any supports in the front, so having more pipe in the back near the back of the container will really help to kind of balance it out. So let's jam this thing in here. Oh gosh. All right, well, I'll be back when this is done. The only bad thing about shoving all that pipe in there is it takes forever. You can kind of see why I do it based off of that. I have some pipe that runs all the way. The PVC runs about midway. And we should have it a little bit farther back because you can kind of see how it angles down. So it goes out of focus because of all the weight leaning forward. So hopefully if I put more pipe in this one, more PVC going back, it'll counterweight it a little bit better. I don't know, we'll see. Be back in like 5 minutes, maybe 10. And I got it in. Not bad, almost to the back. But I forgot to mention 2 other things you need. This PVC pipe cutter, already had it, didn't factor it in the budget. And PVC cement, gotta have it. Because if not, none of this stuff is gonna stick together. All right, gonna cut the tip off of this and then jam in our ball valve. All right, so this is how all the pieces are gonna go together. Got the 1-inch ball valve, 1-inch PVC, 1-inch elbow down to 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch down to 3/4 inch to barb fitting, and everything's gonna look pretty dang good. I'm gonna put all the small pieces together and then put this one giant piece onto the container because it's gonna be way easier to glue it this way. But before you do that, you always wanna dry fit it and see if it fits. And the dry fit works perfectly. That's exactly how I want it to be. And it's a little hefty, but hopefully all the extra PVC pipe in the back will kind of balance it out. Now let's get to gluing. And the number one thing you want to do when you glue is to make sure you do it on this cardboard and on some napkins that you can throw away, because this stuff is going to get everywhere if you're not careful. And there you go, a perfect water bin, except I'm an idiot in this part. I should have adapted it over there because I took this down. Because, yeah, dumbass me. That 90 degree goes straight down and you can't get a bucket under there. And that was supposed to be on that one and up there. I'm gonna have to cut this whole freaking thing out. Oh my God. Well, luckily I gave myself enough room to just barely have that on there. Now, I got to figure out how I want to take this off. There is a trick. Don't know if I'm ready for the trick, but I'm going to post the results of this trick as I want to save it's like $4 worth of PVC, but I don't feel like going out to Lowe's during a quarantine. So let's see if I can get this off of here. Well, that was a fail, so now I gotta go to Lowe's and get more PVC fittings. So I got the extra pieces to fix my mistake from Lowe's, and I am doing a water test on it now. So I have my fresh water running up there and then my wastewater running over here, and as you can see, I'm doing a water test on it. But guess what? I kind of left it run for a little too long, and I guess I need to open the garage door now because I'm an idiot. Well, I really can't tell if this is holding, but I think it's holding. Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm gonna have to kick this out real quick. Let's see. Stand to the side. All right. Bulkhead works, everything works. Well, that was fun. I'll get back to you and see if this is actually a watertight seal. I'm pretty sure it is. But remember that you always have water running, because I totally forgot and I got caught up doing baby stuff. So the water test is a success. No leaks at all. Everything looks... So now that I glued the PVC on, I cut off about 6 feet of the 10-foot long pipe that I got, or hose I should say. And you know, these things are always crinkled up and you can never straighten them, but I have a trick. I filled this up with hot water. I'm just gonna let it sit in there, and then it'll get nice and soft, and then I'll be able to mold it the way I want. In the meantime, I like to heat up a bunch of stuff with, I don't know, what is this, the little kettle my wife has? Pour the hot water in, scalding hot water. Help it to loosen up, and then I'll straighten it up and put it on then to this. Now, because it is barbed, it's going to be kind of hard to get it all the way up to the top, but I'm going to try to shove it all the way up here now that it's going to be loose. Now, I've seen people do this where they've kind of like heated up with a, I don't know, a heat gun, which would probably be the best, or a little candle. I'm going to try this method first and see how that works out, and I'll get back to you guys. Wow, you can really tell that unraveled. So just hot water, and this should easily go in there. All right. Doing this one-handed because my tripod is MIA. God dang it. Whatever. I'm gonna put it on and then you'll see it. And fits like a glove. The one thing is, when you have a baby, I didn't realize how much stuff goes missing all the time, because no one knows where they put anything because you got baby brain. But this is very nice. That was way easier than I thought it'd be. All right, time to put this on. So I finally did a water change and my 32-gallon one is empty. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a crust in there. So I'm gonna take some vinegar, pour it in there, and swish it around. But instead of using like, you know, normal water, you can kind of see there's a fine film going everywhere on it. That is, you know, put some vinegar in, and I don't know if you can hear it, but it's raining outside, so I'm gonna set it outside and let it fill up with water. The lazy man's way of cleaning out his bucket. Put it outside with the rain. It'll work. The new 44-gallon Brute trash can fits like a glove, and all I gotta do is just add on the little reducers and everything. Luckily, I don't know why, but I was kind of lazy last time and I didn't glue any of this together because, you know, there's really no water pressure. And it's just gonna fit in. Like that. Perfect. I might glue it, probably. I'll probably not really use this much. I just need to have it here for, you know, if I ever have to do big water changes that the Versa wouldn't require. But I think it'd be kind of cool just to have it off most of the time because I don't really need it out there. It would add less pressure onto the system as a whole. Well, the Uniseal, I should say. And it just kind of sit like that. Kind of like that idea. But now I gotta go and do a bunch of splicing. Anyway, if you wanted to just stop here, you would have a 44-gallon system for, you know, like $100. I'd add a float valve to this one if you wanted to. But what I'm really gonna do is, there's already a float valve up on here for the 32-gallon. I'm gonna splice it probably right in there, maybe right there. Run another line up over to the other 32-gallon, put a float valve there. That way I can, you know, just divert the water to whichever container I want, and both of them will have float valves on it, and both of them will have little shark bite flow diverters off of the T. It's gonna be super easy. But this is pretty easy overall. Just kind of a pain in the butt to clean it. Yeah, always want to have a pump for the saltwater mixing station. That's a huge Tunzi. I don't even know what size it is. It's just a monster, but it does really well for mixing. But you can really see all that grime. You know, I haven't cleaned this out in a bit, and this is mostly reef crystals. I did do Brightwell for a bit, and Brightwell, it worked, but the levels were really low. And I mean, consistently low, where I was almost having to buffer magnesium. I don't know if I want to go back to Brightwell because it didn't have this residue, but Reef Crystals definitely has this residue. A lot to think about. This is a tip for anyone with a saltwater mixing bin. Clean it out once in a while. Look at all that. That is all the gunk that I got out from here. And even though I kind of got most of it out, there's still some left. I mean, I don't know what all that is, but you know, BRS did episode on it. It can't be good, whatever it is. So clean out your mixing bin at least once a year. Decided paper towels weren't gonna cut it, so used a, well, this is a dog towel, but this was completely blue when I started, and you can see it looks dirty as heck. So clean out your mixing bins. If you have any doubts, do it now. You're on quarantine. So I'm gonna drill a 1/2-inch hole right here using a spade bit, and hopefully that will be perfect enough. I don't know, the 1/2-inch bit looks a little too big, but I mean, on BRS they say to do it, and also on their website they say to do it. So I'm gonna do a paddle bit, and hopefully this works. Well, that went in pretty well. I was surprised how easy that went in. A little bit bigger with the 1/2-inch, but I think they told you to do a 1/2-inch because it would be better overall. So now all you gotta do is just slide this puppy in and tighten it up. And there you have it, pretty easy. Now all you gotta do is splice all the stuff together and put the shutoff valves, and we'll be good. All right, so what's gonna happen is the RO line is gonna come in here. I'm gonna have a split with this T, and this will go to one section, and there'll be a float valve at the very end in the container, and I can turn the flow on. So it'll go up here and turn the flow off so it won't go to that container. And then I'll have another RO line running to here, and this will go to the new container that I just built. And you can turn on and off at will, and it will top off. So super simple. One of the things that I did was I put a piece of plywood down under here. That way, if any water dripped, it wouldn't get on all my stuff down here. But with this being said, this side over here turned out perfect. It's nice and flush, and I thought this would be almost flush until I have like an inch hanging off. Not even an inch. I need to cut like a little nub off of this. Same at the back end. Make it nice and flush, because right now you can kind of see the container leaning a little to the side, and I don't really like that. I want it to be perfectly straight up and down, because you know, when you have 300 pounds of water, you want it to be, you know, level. So let's get to cutting. And there we have it. My two-stage, or two-story I should say, water change station. Beautiful. 32 gallons each at the top. Fresh water with the valves on the left side. You can kind of see how I did that on the left. And then 44 gallons at the bottom. And I made it so that, I don't know, I guess serendipitously, that I can move that hose off of it. And if I ever needed to, I could fill up some buckets, or I could just use it for my Versa pump to do my auto water changes. All right. I'm so happy. Time to see if this works now, because I won't be happy if it doesn't. So I turned it on, and the other container is off. This one's on. It's all flowing into there. You can hear it. So let's go over to my booster pump, do a stress test. And let's turn the other one on. And turn this one off. Any leaks? No, looks like this one's leaking a bit. I might have to fix that. You see it? Let's fix this real quick. All right, so all I had to do is push that in. It wasn't all the way in. Well, that's what she said. So, everything is working out perfectly. I can't believe it. It's working. And it's gorgeous. I've almost doubled my capacity for water storage. So I got 44 gallons at the bottom that I can store, plus I got four different 5-gallon jugs for salt water and a 5-gallon jug for fresh water, plus 32 gallons of fresh water at the top. So I got like, oh my gosh, almost 70 gallons of fresh water capacity, and I have almost 64 gallons of saltwater capacity. I think I'm pretty good. Plus with my upgraded RODI system, I'm solid. Now, I did all this for under 100 bucks. Not, you know, the extra totes and stuff, but the 44-gallon container with the float valve and diverters and everything and the extra plumbing. So if you want to do this, you could do it for under 100 bucks to get a nice 44-gallon brute trash can, convert it into a saltwater storage station. So guys, if you like this video, let me know if you have anything that you want to tell me about how you like what I did or you didn't like what I did. Also let me know. I'm always down for anyone's input. Now, I had to work with the space that I was given. It would have been nice if I would have just gotten 2 giant storage vats and put them, you know, right across here. But, you know, my garage is really, really tall. I don't even know how tall this is. Probably 10, 12 foot tall. Yeah. So if you got vertical space, might as well use the vertical space. But I like this storage and it works for me, and I can't wait to show you my next video coming down the pipe. Now, I will see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, comment below. Let me know how you like this video. And as always, if you want to see more, click the button to see more. Alright guys, this has been Mike with Shallow Reefing. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Don't forget to comment below and let me know how you like the content. As always, I'll see you next time.